one side what's going on here. Barrier Mesh going to be taken down. Obviously takes a while on that pistol round, but they still prefer to keep that open, and Poppy gets taken down immediately, and then there's a follow-up in mid as well.
Just on both sides all of a sudden, and that's just Talon being able to kind of sneak through.
And I love that it's going to be Primi on that tail. The more I think about it, as we see, it's just a slow creep out, but it's a double, kind of distracting Darian, and that's all the Cypher trip's gone as well. Just a fast hit onto A site. And just two people, never mind, it's just the round done right there. Rid of that wall as soon as possible. I love the salvos right into vents as well. This just destroys any control over mid.
And straight into vents as well, but unfortunately it's going to be Kelly's right around the corner. So once again, Global kind of aware of what's going on around mid.
Just a good block there, not being thrown off by the Yoru. Now, they haven't really explored the entire setup on B. Obviously, you see the stars, but that sonic sensor, you hear it now. Jitboy's going to wait for his team before they break it and go.
It's going to be quite tricky, especially if you are fully committing into this. All these stars are going to slow everything down, and it starts off with the gravity well. Global trying to fire on through into it. Crystal will be able to pick up the double now, and onto the last one, trying to fill in the gaps. It's just
ramps and where the Prowler activated, but no clarity just yet.
It does kind of buy the attention away back into the A site, but this deep Barrier Mash down mid does kind of lure Kelly's out, and Cruz will be able to take him down. So possible A split now at play. Of course, still trying to break through the Barrier Mash.
They got to take out Ban. Yeah, without Ban being taken out, Talon had so much control of the map, but with ramps being now pushed back out, you can kind of keep Talon trapped over in mid. Now, obviously, numbers not in favor of Global Esports, so do they choose to spread out? I would love to see them group up together. Yudotan just taking things upon himself. He wants to get by. He finds one. Can he follow up with two? He gets two as well. Is he ready for the third? He sees him. The Raze 1v1. Governor peeks out and he gets taken down and ropes.
And that's a spike dropped as well.
Oh, that's rough. I mean,
two.
Yeah, very heads up for Yudotan, but no, we're not going to have much time to talk about that pass round as we see another fast hit coming in from Talon. Trying to push forward there with a half buy. Just two stingers, one of them already dropped. And that's a quick shutdown. And some of these fast rushes, it's going to be tough against the Deadlock and the Cypher and the Astra as well. So much delay on the defensive side of Global Esports.
And information being picked up right now. Taking a look at the map, it's Crystal pushing out, so he doesn't spot anyone on the other sides, but Ban is kind of circling back. Goes for the wide step, but Crystal still able to burst him down.
Yudotan didn't quite catch sight of Cruz just yet. Cruz is going to close the gap quite a bit. Oh, a twist of fate, Yudo. He's going to back off. This is where he used to shine last week, making the smart choices. He still gets taken down, but numbers still advantage for Global Esports. Two people already on site.
Knowing where they are as well, up around the pillars. Darren is able to get down to first, but Primi still quite deadly with the Sheriff. Now picks up the Judge. Full util as well, but Poppy is very prepared for true full buy round for Talon, and it starts things off already. Salvos towards the back and in with a dimensional drift just to gather so much information. They're looking for some spams against the GE players, but nothing quite found just yet. The smokes are blocking so much of it off. Ben is able to at least take one down, but here comes the net, and it actually catches on to a couple of players. They're going to have to try to tuck in between the smokes to stay alive. Nightfall gets sent out as well.
And you know there was only one Heaven, so you know that the main force still should have been main, and you're able to reclaim B Heaven as well. Great hold from Global Esports. That barrier mesh really just slowing down the entire team. Ban still had to come out from his ult.
Quick mid-round decision from Talon, though, quickly trying to kind of transition over onto the A site, and GE does make a good read for it as well, splitting their defenses 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2 is the way you have to go right now when it's a 4v4, just trying to get some more information. You still have some semblance of delay, especially with the C still available from Crystal. But just because of the focus they had, all right, Haunt goes out. You should be able to regroup over by the A side, but they just don't have information. They decide, okay, we're just going to leave Darian on his own. He's just going to have to anchor. Crystal, does he wait or does he go for a timing spam here through the smoke?
30 just going to hold. Wait, yeah, for now. Meanwhile, Darren's desperately on his camera trying to spot them out. Definitely finding them towards the back of screens up. It's a little bit too late. It's all up to Crystal, who has to push up a little bit further. Now manages to take down Jit Boys, and now trying to stay alive for the rest of the team to get back into the site. But look at Primi as well, though. You mentioned that utility, and he still has a very good opportunity to use it. Just waiting in case they do peek into him, but nothing found so far. And this confirms they are all inside of Heaven. Primi creeps on through, but unfortunately crouched down. It's Poppy who sprays all of them down.
Very good awareness from Poppy, because from the movement, it really felt like at the end of the day, this had to be a Governor round. Primi, you still suspect that just a bit because they never re-cleared screens entirely. But once you take down Primi, do you expect the last member to have already left the site as well? Base and time here in ramps. He's trying to push up. Getting aggressive, but there's just too many members. He doesn't expect the swing out off of the Prowler, and Yudotan's ready for it. And now you know, all right, it had to just be one. There's no trade-off. You're ready in vents, and then there's the grab net. There's just so much delay.
Oh my god, Annihilation as well, alongside the paint shells. The spam comes through, Yudotan in with a showstopper, but it doesn't quite connect. They're trying to push off of the space that they've gotten, and Yudotan unfortunately falls to Governor. Governor now pulls out his showstopper, but he's working against numbers.
Oh, it's all alone. I was gonna say, I mean, at the very least, they drew out a lot of the outs from the global side just to try to buy time if they can reset, but Governor was stuck, so the rest of the team of TALON tries to just buy time for him, and now he's the only one left. He's already used his showstopper, down to 86 health, trying to creep into the B site. If he gets a timing against Poppy, sure, but if not, this looks nigh impossible. And Poppy's just ready for it. He doesn't need to watch anywhere else because the rest of his team, is watching.
Like, instantly you would have spotted out.
You've been caught. Yudotan, yeah, he's ready for the swing out. I mean, you use the Cosmic Divide, but it doesn't matter. Still, his teammate's going to be able to hear the sound from that grab net. Jit Boys takes a lot of damage.
Trying to caterpillar through the smoke. However, G are already making such a good reaction to this. Poppy hanging out towards the back, watching the exits of that smoke. Crystal up around the corners with the Outlaw. Yudotan from the top of heaven, gunned down though. So a slight opportunity for TALON, but unfortunately still kind of... He's marking this. Spots out the shoulder and instantly Governor's down.
Just look at how confident they are as well, right? Holding this wider off angle there with the Outlaw. You know it's an eco, and you know that they either have to invest a lot of their smokes ahead of time to try to gain space, or they're going to have to go for these dry peaks. It's a very confident move from Global Esports just to try to continue the snowball.
No answers found so far. Back into mid, you find the barrier mesh as well. I mean, this space just in time. Straight into KLES. I spotted something out by the mini-map.
Oh, they hear that again, and then there's the paint shells. You know he's trapped. Okay, it's a good fight back, but eventually it's the paint shells. They just have so many variations between Yudotan and KLES, and TALON just has not figured out an answer. I want to say that it might almost be worth it for the coaching staff of TALON to call yet another timeout. I know it's already very late, but if you go into the second half with only 2 rounds, sure, it's split. You know, say what you want. But I just don't think they have good answers in terms of how their util counters the defensive util and the delay util from Global Esports. It really does everything you can just to even get into the site. They haven't planted a spike in a long time, and Yudotan gets covered with the paint shells again!
Just trying to set up for it now alongside this time. But unfortunately, with their teammates downed, you can't quite do too much with the utility. They're still trying to clear out ramps, and a bit of spam from Darren just to block things off out towards the exits.
And look at the fill onto the site from Global Esports. Because you had this trip over in heaven, they could buy time until someone arrived. And there's KLES. He gets one. He plays it safe. Once again, extra delay until he gets more support over from the rafters. Now it's a double angle over on heaven. TALON is trapped right now by ramps.
Stall locked off. Might even be an effective crossfire, but a little bit of an angle, and Cruz is able to take one down, but straight back into the site, and that's Jit Boys downed. All left onto Cruz. I don't quite know how he's going to work around this. The sonic sensor is still there, and Jit Boys right around the corner too. I mean, Poppy, excuse me.
Yeah, Poppy's just going to wait, but once he hears any sort of sound, any util, anything of the spike, it's got to be a creep out. He's going to play it safe. They're not quite sure. He doesn't want to take this 1v1, and this is so heads up from Poppy, because Cruz has to check. It's a 1v3. He needs an extra kill. Look at this angle. It's so hard. He saw the gun barrel, and Poppy absolutely outplayed. Just a stack onto the B side. GE trying to get ahead of the read just a bit. You have that showstopper, and Poppy is going to get that first kill. Grab net used. Oh, but Crystal takes down Ban. Still no control over ramps. Yes, you took mid, but GE gifted it to you. They left it open. Barrier mesh still holding on B heaven. So much time bought.
Just so good on the variety of plays, the defensive setups. Still though, Operator will be able to fire back, so maybe a slight opportunity now. Stealth drone just to check, but Poppy's able to react so quick. Smokes up, and Governor is now blocked off. Has to try to maybe use the satchels to get over ahead of things. Showstopper coming through as well, but Yudotan still able to stop and slow everything down. Dodging, they managed to shoot it down though, so still able to slip on.
He hasn't checked backside. He hasn't checked backside.
No!
He hasn't checked for Poppy! Poppy's still holding in the back of sight. The panic coming through for TALON paint shells, but he's going to skirt around it. He's still surviving. Crystal comes in for support, and now TALON scattering across the entire map.
Oh, and there's a little gap for Poppy to stay alive in, but still flushed out of position. Jit Boys is able to gun him down. He's towards the back now. It's all up for Global Esports to try to come in with yet another retake. 2-on-2, Cruz up from Evan. Unfortunately, Jitboys falls. He swings, and that's Darian to pick up the double.
Come out too. So the flash gone, that's a big part of one of those trap plays. Now that's knocked out for the pistol. Oh, Jitboys! Okay, gets 2 out of 3, but it's a big slowdown against GE's attack.
Still though, crazy individual performance.
Oh, and I like the group up here from TALON. They're not going to send everybody just because they want to know, are they heaven? Even if they plant A, are they all on site? So that getting that information is good, but you have the numbers advantage, so staying grouped up to try to make sure that they can combat wherever the push is.
And also using the drone just for added measure.
They don't know about Darian. They haven't actually gotten into heaven just yet. Ban is able to save himself, though.
Just quick as well. Baronmaster trying to fend off stairs, but the salvos are going to stall and slow them down. Everyone from TALON already grouping up into the site. Sight lines being held as well. Yudotan gonna try to play around the timing of it just to watch if anyone does peek out. But man, still being such a menace towards the back of sight. It's all down to Kelly. Yes, now the paint shell's in his face. Stunned up, but able to take down Primi at the very least. Better than that, just to kind of hold passively around sewer, around mid. Oh, but Poppy actually peeks into the op.
A good hold from Poppy, holding that off angle close to the wall, because you imagine, okay, if they're pushing that hard out of A, but they're not chasing, where else is the information coming from? This is your bonus. This is where you take risks. So I love the patience from Poppy to wait for that operator, and now that's a big investment gone.
Still though, okay, GE trying to regroup back towards A, but look at what's happening on the minimap. Jitboys, quite a bit of information towards the mid side.
And Jitboys pinching in as well. Wondering when they start to call Governor back over to A, because right now you saw information over by ramps. You're still seeing just the fade util though, so no clear information. But TALON, the comms not quite there just yet. It's just Jitboys trying to pinch through. So now you just have to hold and see if you can delay on the site and then go for a multi-pronged retake. Does he give the angle?
30 seconds.
Jitboys, he gets the kill.
Oh, but down onto the site, Primi falls. So Global able to flood down the site now. A little bit of screens pressure as well. Crystal up around the sides. Jitboys with the Vandal now picked up, trying to create a little bit more havoc, trying to get a little bit more space for his team in with the stars. Bricks it a little bit of down. Governor onto the Spectre, does a little bit more damage too, and Jitboy swinging off the attention away, but then shut down by Kelly S. A bit of a spam through the screens, and unfortunately doesn't spot anything out either. Darren managed to stay and avoid it.
I'll handle this. Oh, the ult just to check. That's 3 members. But they're not quite in range right now for a kill off of the fault line. Good patience coming up from Cruz, but how long do you wait? Trying to push them into heaven, right? You're saying, okay, the Yoru's behind you, where do you go? But now over in heaven, Governor's able to get that 1 kill as well. Gate crash, it's gonna be expired. And there's the fault line just to delay. Now you know with only 20 seconds left that GE had to make a choice. They're caught up. There's the gravity well as well. They're gonna try to fill the site.
I heard the time of it. Now you gotta worry about the back as well. GE, pressure's definitely on them. Trying to flood into the site, but look at the flash, it is ready. Primi holding on the sight lines as well. Elbow blocked off, down to the site. That's Cruz in with 2nd kill. Primi onto the other as well.
To the sites.
Yeah, G makes a think for it. So straight into the A site, and instantly Ban kind of leaves it open. So a bit of a retake setup. The off shot does take one of the players down as well, so that's instant value too.
You have to hold on to screens because you don't have that barrier mesh anymore.
Trying to keep that there. Rolling Thunder, though, will connect into the site, but Jitboys kind of avoids it. I mean, Poppy avoids it for now, so maybe a little bit of an opportunity. Yudotan able to spam and spray through as they all try to push out off the Rolling Thunder. Now, it's all down to just Ban, and he's got the op, tries to peek.
Given their composition, they need to fight to take space and get information.
Trying to go in for it. I mean, all 3 of them trying to go in for maybe the trade setup as well, right? Peeking off of each other, but the Boombot now comes out just to fend even more of them back. Peeking out of the cage, unfortunately, the timing of it all, it's just a setup for GE to react back into the utility that they sent through. Primi tries to stay alive into the corner, a bit of a one and done. He's able to get away with 2, but it's still not enough.
Jitboys still only a sheriff as well. See if he can get in range to pick anything up, but Poppy looks like he's ready to shut that down. Now look at the positions. I mean, GE all ready to just pick off these 1v1s. Over by Poppy. He's not looking. Jitboys, does he find a timing? He does! Now a 2v1. 1v1 down to Crystal versus Jitboys.
Just trying to hold it up around the spike. Inside of elbow. He peeks out, and that's going to be the headshot just in an instant. 13-6. Global Esports ends the first map.
Really well played from GE, and I think
We'll give him a chance. We'll give him a chance at how everything goes. But I mean, it's that double controller as well. But right now, that impact from the chamber already coming through.
Yeah, and we're just going to get a safe peek out there from Yudotan. He takes a little bit of scratch from that early scuffle, but Crystal's still here as well. And then there's the support from Kelly S. Once again, keep your eyes on the movement of Kelly S. because he has been very busy on that first map and now already in the first round of Abyss as well. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about that chamber, though. The Des touched upon it, but that chamber can gain you so much aggressive space for that extra information. So I'm curious what kind of positions Darion takes.
Especially with how he holds sight lines as well. I mean, speaking of his past experiences as a Jet, it's just right there. And he's able to hold it down again from the back of heaven. Governor down, Poppy comes back in for the trade. That's Primi gone. And you're working against numbers at this point. Yudotan gets yet another ban. What are you gonna do? Tries to slip through with a ghost, but Poppy swings out
as well. They want to go for a full wraparound onto the A side. I don't mind it, and they will able to punish Yudotan. They punish Kelly S as well, and now Crystal all alone. Just the Sheriff, he gets stunned against the Stingers. Gets one, not able to connect onto the second.
That's a flood instantly into the site. I mean, Kelly has heard the footsteps, but with the Guardian couldn't quite fend off, all that incoming footsteps. Down to the last player now, it's just Poppy.
And bringing in a lot of that pressure, cutting off some of that rotate, and then Ban putting pressure onto Vents right now as well, trying to go for a deep wraparound. Annihilation is going to be able to catch Yudotan. That should soften the defenses.
Poppy?
He's hiding away. They're not quite sure. Has he dropped or has he not? They can't quite make up their mind. He drops. He's not going to get that kill.
Primi holding the angle, able to react in kind. Still though, you're taking a look at how Ban is effectively lurking out from the back. GE, they try to push on through. They're still up in towards heaven, trying to make use of some of these sight lines. Crystal, he actually hears Ben. I mean, kind of thinking about it, kind of able to swing back to take him down, and there.
Pushing out this time, and Primi waits for it. Good punish. Knows the mind of someone who wants to op. Does he suspect the second? He's waiting for it.
Crystal anticipating a possible push out as well. I mean, he's going to have to back off now.
Yeah, Yudotan with a good hold, though. I mean, anytime you're playing against these double controllers, it's either you try to push out yourselves or you kind of just have to wait. You have to leave that mid open and try to push out of a side so that you can go for faster rotates and get that information better. And GE, this is something they've cleaned up a lot compared to last week.
Able to work with it this time, especially with Poppy into the stars on the site, so he's able to kind of relay through, but unfortunately, Talon this time manages to come in with the flood. 2-3 players all through the smokes, and Poppy wasn't able to hold it back, so a bit of a retake scenario now without the numbers. GE gonna have to try to at least maybe get some picks. They do have the op, so it might be a save as well.
Yeah, something to consider because your econ is all over the place right now. The credit's not quite evened out for GE. So if you believe that the operator is really important for those defensive rounds, which I would imagine you do, given the chamber, I think you got to keep that. So it looks like Crystal's just in position to save. And Kelly S just trying to see if he can get a couple cheeky kills. But look at the wraparound from Governor. He wants to punish the op. Finds one. Oh, okay. We'll finish off the kill. Knows he doesn't quite have the opening anymore to chase for the second.
A little bit dicey. That is a gun picked up nonetheless. Oh, he's wrapping around.
Didn't spot him just yet. He was around the corner. Hit them in mid, and then it's a flood with the neon. So now the answer is, let's take them out in mid.
Going for the fight. Down to the tour de force. The first shot down into Governor, and all of a sudden, Talon has to back off.
A main already given up, trying to hide away from that drone. Looks like Yudotan might have been hidden. Ooh. Cosmic Divide. You do have your own to try to counter it on a retake. Oh man, another repeat with the op this time. A little bait and switch. Big risk, but Crystal still holding strong on Vent, so they feel comfy on the site. And Talon, they are frantically realizing there's too many members here on the site.
So, bit of a mid-round decision, or at least thinking about it, but they're doubling back.
Trying to use that little pocket that might have been available on the Cosmic Divide to fake them out, but I don't think, I don't know if G even heard them, because I don't think we saw Kellius pass that wall.
I mean, I don't...
Yeah, now they're second-guessing themselves, so surely I don't think they heard it at all.
Oh, no. But still, I mean, just close enough to the side and having the numbers to possibly make something happen. Surely now they hear that spike tap.
Yeah, but the wraparound coming in from Crystal, that's going to be big. And Jit Boys, he might just let Kellius slip through and take out one of his teammates.
So in the position, a little bit far too deep, while the rest of his team just kind of holds out around the spike, crews farther back, so that marks Crystal. He gets off just to throw out the recon. Crystal kind of slipping through. Sova versus Sova. It's just down to the gunplay and the angles. Crystal, unfortunately, shoulder spotted out. And that's then the Cosmic Defy. But do they know that Heaven's being held?
They should know. Because you saw that reaction coming out from the spike tap, and you saw the Sonic Sensor as well. Just not enough time, and GE will have to back off. That should be another round for Talon. They're on the hunt. They got to get out of the spike radius anyway, and Kellyus will survive themselves. And they make it sound like they left. So it's an absolute trap play, and Darian can't quite land that shot. What a jump peek out from Premier with the Outlaw.
It's a shutdown, but now this is the reaction from GE to try to come back in, thinking about a possible A site being leaked open. It is a bit of an eco round for GE, but still tough luck. I mean, starting things off that way.
Yeah, I don't mind the piling on to B, right? If you get a kill onto Kellyus, maybe even the Rolling Thunder if the time allows for it to try to just win the round out of attrition. But it's going to be a hard fake. Talon not taking any chances. If they get a reaction out of here, they'll immediately go into A site. Still creeping forward, but they start to see some of that util come out on B. So the main force will be going into A.
Yeah,
oh! The Hunter's Fury baited out! Onto that plant, and now it's just going to be planted on A site. Governor, he's done his job!
So unfortunate with the ults being drawn out. Rotations back into the A side. Okay, Viper's Pit up as well, just for added measure, but now in towards Fence, and Jit Boys holding it. Bit of an angle, spots them out. It's a double kill.
And now there's not much you can do. Poppy not going to be able to find that kill instantly. Yudotan did pick up the Phantom, but the retake itself looks kind of impossible. Okay, Jit Boys, he might actually get a couple extra kills himself. He's aware of it. No, Yudotan's going to get him from behind.
One enemy remaining.
Now Poppy obviously wanting to go down to the spike. Looks like he's not going to be given the option to do so. Just trying to...
Now, but this is the adjustment. It's going to be Yudotan pushing down mid to take down Ban.
And during that, they still have that forward position on A main as well. So yeah, now doubling down on where you push out from. So that way you can get the one and done kill in mid and back off. You don't have to be afraid about holding on to that position. It's still a double stack. So this requires Talon to now use util. But the question is if you have to use the rendezvous, which you will, where else do you push out from again? Does Yudotan push out from mid once more? Because there's still a full minute left on the clock. Just holding for now. GE pushed back into a somewhat backwards, a default position.
Banking a lot on the stack, and at the same time trust in Poppy to just hold down B. He's continuing to jiggle, so doesn't see anything. It's all down to the stack and how they're able to react to what could possibly come out of the A site.
Yeah, we have to remember the slide is gone from Neon, so not going to be able to really displace that crosshair as much. But Darian, he gets tagged.
Fast lane up as well. So trying to slip on through with that, the relay vault now out. Kellyus not quite able to react with it. Second rendezvous now used, but unfortunately, just animation not quite up in time. Darren gets gunned off, and that's going to be now up to Crystal. Out from Heaven, trying to work alongside it. Kind of avoiding the Annihilation, which didn't quite connect into him, so not too bad for now, but towards the back of spawn as well. It's been blocked off. Yudotan, though, still able to land a bit of a shot.
Yeah, and sees Jit Boys as well. Jit Boys are taking so much damage. He's now going to have to hide away. You know he's trapped. And it's a two-man push out from spawn. They got to take out Jit Boys first. That's an easy kill. And the second one, good crosshair displacement for Poppy, and then a re-peek from all three members. GE with a nice retake against Talon Esports here in round 8.
Losing players initially thanks to the knee.
Oh, Darian with a nice shot as well, holding that close off angle. Man, that's the toxic screen down. Poppy still anchoring on the site. And this seemed to always be what GE wanted even last week, was just let Poppy do his thing on the A site. We try to take space elsewhere. This time they get what they want.
Anchor works out.
Take flight.
Drawing out the barrier mesh as well, so maybe regrouping, breaking that down, and using the drone to re-clear that space up into Heaven gives them more options into the site.
It's a nice pick out from Cruz, but they have to continue to play aggressive. Premier with a nice hit, but Poppy gonna utilize that Rolling Thunder to his advantage. They still have ults as well for Talon if they want to make sure they can secure this round.
Found them.
And possibly anticipating that they are playing that post-plant position with the ults as well, so maybe needing to kind of push out against it. But Cruz hanging further back. Now's the timing to set up that Hunter's Fury. Sends off those beams. Jit Boy's able to hold out the front side of things as well. Poppy still able to fight back, now holding the angle. Spike getting stuck, Kelly's gets it.
Go for a fast rotate, but you're already a step late. The Neon starts charging in, grab net launch. Can you hold on to the site? Crystal, it's a double team between Crystal and Kelly's, a double swing. Crystal still alive with 2 kills on the board. He's dancing around, he gets a third, and shuts down the entire entry. Spike dropped on site.
Drone out to check as well. He dodges the shock dart, and that it is for Yuno-Tan events. But right now, just dealing with Darren to force that rendezvous away. They managed to do it. Hunter's Fury out though, and then in kind from Crystal. And there it is, back in through. And Yuno-Tan, just on the timing of it, spots out Ben as he tries to make the movements happen.
I love this from Yuno-Tan as well. He does get taken down, but it's such a forward position to try to get a read. Did they leave A main or not? Oh, but that kill opens things up. Governor could continue to be bait. He's not quite checking for Evan. Too many angles for him to check alone. He's stranded. Talon, they couldn't make up their mind. Once Governor got the kill, are we grouping up or not? They're kind of wishy-washy, and now they're late on the rotate. Poppy should be ready for this to just buy time before the spike gets planted.
That's why that smoke is up. Another star up by Danger as well. He hears the hop and sets up yet another smoke, but now footsteps into him. He's able to swing out, gets the kill, and then the spike dropped. 15 seconds left, and Poppy still able to double back. Trying to come in with the stack into the B site now, just trying to flood on through with that fast lane. Governor straight into the relay bolts. Trying to hide around the site itself. Annihilation does connect into Kelly's, but Yuno-Tan with the off angles, a second kill, looks for the third. Trying to hold down the angles, goes in for the spray, it commits, but unfortunately doesn't quite connect. It's the Annihilation that connects into Poppy as well. So back to even numbers now. Darren on and off.
Well, last round, so you just go for it. Trying to draw their attention, trying to get them to peek. And if not, he does have his teammate Crystal. He's already now arrived at the site, but they're ready for it. They realize something's off. It's just the op shots. That's a distraction. We gotta keep our eyes peeled. Darion gets one. It's a good distraction. The timing's perfect for Crystal. Now trying to scout out where the last member is. Time not on the side of GE. They still need to get the kill and go for the defuse. Tries to jump. Ban gets 1 kill. Crystal just keeps him at bay. He's trying to stick to half, but Ban is not giving him.
Least, but still not quite able to find too much. A bit of damage into which Chip Boys.
But Yuno-Tan, he's taking so much space. They suspect it. They'll push him back out. That's important. He's going to be able to give up that space now.
Relay back in. Craftnet out as well, just in case he was right around the corner, but able to hold out back far enough. Governor, though.
Yeah, big pickup from Governor there. Just making sure that he's ahead, making sure that they can disrupt some of the positions. But Kelly's, do they check for him? It's a good setup with Yuno-Tan. It's a good crossfire. Yuno-Tan gets the trade, keeps Kelly's alive for another kill onto the side of GE. Now suddenly a 4v2. Talon no longer having any form of an advantage. There's a fault line just to keep the Neon at bay. And Kelly's is just dancing in between these members. Once it's a fast hit. Toxic screen completely ignored, and you expect to push out, but Darion not able to really clear the inside of that smoke. Good trade from Kelly's, but that's the spike down. Now Ban, he needs to be careful where he chooses to position himself because he's gonna be open from a lot of different angles. He's just gonna have to fight his way out.
Holds it from the closest off angle, but ooh, it's Yuno-Tan that he's playing against. So instantly Spike picked up and pretty soon planted onto the side. A full 3-on-3 retake.
Now Poppy reclaiming that area as well. He's creating another cross angle. Talon, do they suspect it? Because it's a 3v3. Do you imagine? Oh, they spot each other, and Primy's very quick with it.
So now it's out to Yuno-Tan. Gets ahead of it at least a little. Takes down Primy. Goes in for yet another swing. Has the dash anyway, but Crystal comes in to support as well. He spots out the barrel. Yuno-Tan wants to go out for the kill, but it's Cruz able to strike back against GE. A round picked up by Talon.
Cruz always so trustworthy when Talon most needs him, because I was thinking against Yuno-Tan and Crystal know of each other's location. Okay, a little ballsy from Cruz, but Governor with a nice pickup with the hero rifle.
Just being able to duke out against mid. I mean, hearing that drone from Crystal earlier before, just the oppressive toxic screen again from Ban forces them to use util to re-clear mid.
Okay, with the barrier mesh out, now on that timing, past the minute mark onto A main as well as Talon, all eyes trained onto mid. It has to be a flank no matter what, otherwise it's a wild rush in the last 20 seconds. Looks like right now it's gonna be that B side, and Governor, they line up for him. That's a double headshot, able to control that spray, and now Spike down as well. It should be the round for Talon, and GE, they're already positioning themselves away to safety, going for a save.
No other option. That's the best they can do right now. Enough for
10
TALON.
seconds left.
And the setup really works out incredibly well.
And they're able to upgrade their weapons. That's a big part of this as well, right? We realize that off of that buy round in the previous round, they're not able to continue to buy up.
So straight on, headstrong hit into the side. Yudotan with the blades finds that whole side's been vacated.
But this is what I wanted to know is earlier, if you go for a 4-man hit and try to hold them off in mid, because there's a very big likelihood that there's going to be a flank. Now they are ready for it, quickly falling all the way back. You still got that trademark as well, and the rendezvous from Darion. It's a bit of a risky situation onto Danger, but he will have one more chance.
Yeah, watching for it. Bit of a rolling thunder as well, just to buy further time too. It does connect into so many of the players from TALON. And here comes Yudotan alongside Darion. All that's left now, Jit Boys playing up around stairs, has to kind of back off, thinking about going for the save. And Yudotan still making quite a bit of noise.
Yeah, just trying to see if he can get a chase in, but otherwise he'll just pick up that free rifle as he came into the round with the Bladestorm. And this is the GE we saw last week. The moment you get a chance, the moment you're going to try to aggressively fight in mid because you just don't have the advantage. Now with a lack of information, GE, they want to go for a fake, but already Crystal taken down. Yudotan, not quite spotted. Oh, maybe it looks like he has been. Util trained.
Uh-oh.
He's just gonna hold on. They're not quite sure if he's still there or not, but Yudotan's just going to wait.
Then you gotta look for Ban's position closer towards the B site. It was such a good spot. He wasn't spotted or anything, but now GE thinking back to rotate.
But they heard him. Ban heard them start running. You look at the positions, TALON, they're still holding strong, and Jitboy's just making sure it's not a wraparound through mid. This is going to be an absolute crash, and they just have to sprint in for the spike. It's only 10 seconds left. The op trying to get a shot, and there's the overdrive. It takes down everybody. Will be, are they aware of Ban's position while they hunt for Jitboys? Because it's going to be a double setup. Ban already gets one. Now it's a double on the site, Yudotan, but Jitboy's still alive, and he's in position to start to back out safely to regroup. Backup has arrived. Jitboys actually doesn't quite need it. He's going to take down Yudotan as well.
Somehow inside of the smoke, and now all that's left, I mean, Crystal alongside Darion. At least Crystal on the site, so maybe looking for some kind of an opportunity. Have the spike.
Just trying to see if they can maybe get out some extra util, get a free kill with the operator. Crystal, he's going to get one himself. And Darion still watching over by Heaven, but they don't know if there's been a cross. There's the annihilation, and that's going to catch him. There's the spike all the way getting drawn out. Darion, you got to make a choice, but I don't think there really is one. The spike right in the middle of enemy territory.
No, keeping themselves inside of cover as well. There's no chance whatsoever for Darion even get on the B side for Talon.
Yeah, with the operator as well. Oh, and he catches Yudo before he takes flight. Shutting him down.
To it as well, and thanks to the smokes being able to still hold the ground, especially with that op again.
It's just going to be a reset from GE. They don't really have information anywhere else, right? This was an all-in, especially given that it's not really a strong buy. You just had that stinger in hand, and then the sheriffs. So they just hope that the silence is going to bait out TALON to reset, which it does, but TALON's not missing out on much either. They still have an operator, they still have the numbers advantage, and they will just be able to regroup, still leaning heavier towards this B site.
Right here.
You got the numbers, why not? And Grimmy is safe enough on the A site, so straight into it. Global trying to sneak on through with the smokes. They've managed to keep themselves towards backside. The wall bang not quite connecting. So at least the spike goes down. Crystal from long range with the Sheriff as well, still able to connect it.
Oh, you don't want to give these 1v1s if you're TALON, using that Cosmic Divide just to try to get through. There comes the Huntress Fury coming out from Crystal. Is it going to be able to? No, it's just going to buy time, not really doing too much damage. Ban now already onto the side. That's a good catch with the grab net as well. And Crystal all alone just has to go for the shock darts. It'll get some chip damage in, but someone already pushed up. Yes, he gets a kill for his troubles, but the round will still be going over to TALON. Man, on Heaven, waiting for that vent door to break. Sonic Sensor as well. And then a nice catch from Jitboys. GE starting to fall apart. They're all over the place in mid, just giving up these free peeks.
There.
And there's another one for Governor. He knows the chase has to come through because otherwise GE, they would have to wrap all the way back around spawn. And that's the only place you can really come in from. Again, just full faith in Ban's Viper's Pit.
Yeah, at this point, there's not too many options for GE, right? The Viper's Pit in his phase, and if they do double back in towards mid, you're thinking about the op. It's just what are you going to do? 50 seconds left on the clock. The only option to try to kind of save
They'll just wait. I mean, they were trying to go for that ult orb sound and then the run away with the fake, but there's no reason for Talon to peek out. Now, I don't blame GE, just because the Talon team in this roster, they have done unnecessary moves before. Like all last year, there have been some overextending, there has been some overheating, so I like the attempt at a bait, but that's the most they could have done, like you said, especially now with this barrier mesh. They really just have to wait for the time and go for that save because your credits aren't looking good, and now it's going to be map point for Talon, one step away from taking us to the third map of Lotus.
All right, 2025 Talon. Still though, kind of affording at least a kill in towards GE. You never quite know what that might turn out to be. A couple of players close to their ultimates now.
Oh, I love
the round close to an end.
I love them coming in, but you never were meant to fill the site. Look at Jitboy's position. He just wants to hold on to back site.
This is all GE has. It has to be the B site. Spike planted now at the very least, and they're going to have to try to hold it so far back in towards Nest, back in towards main. You're watching for the potential flanks and in for the floods through stairs as well. At least the stars are up, and Poppy's trying to work alongside them, but the fast lane's in his face. Darren just to watch his back. Darren unfortunately gets gunned down by Jitboys now though from stairs, and Poppy doing his best to try to anchor around the site. And off the timing of things, that's when Cruz comes out from the back. Poppy gunned down. Crystal, the only one left, and he's way too far from the site. Sends out the recon, but Jitboys is sticking the defuse, and there it is. Talon closes out the second map, 13-9. We are now the salvos as well. It affords a lot more options for Talon as they do commit back in towards the C site. So no Shiro available, it's just the guns for Kelly's right now. Still able to track Governor down. Poppy into the back site, but Jitboys able to fight back. Now into the site, and that's where the barrier mesh comes up from Ben to block off Waterfall. The spike will go down in favor of Talon.
Yeah, Crystal just gonna be stuck there on his own, but he will be able to survive as Talon not taking any chances. They're gonna back away from the barrier mesh. They don't want to take any unnecessary fights. Ban looking for the flank, but they realize it's not gonna be there. All three coming in from Waterfall. Is Talon ready? We've got the salvos online once again.
Ooh. Jitboys inside of the smoke though. They don't expect that whatsoever. Darren able to trade back, but now 1-on-2. He's got the headhunter, but can he really connect all of them? Swings out. Possible trap plays, or at least the guided salvos to block a lot of it all early on towards Rumpel, but still the spams work out, not too bad. Governor gets away with at least one. Now tries to hang back. Prowler comes in for support.
Yeah, we have to note that Primi still hanging out by C as well. He's watching down with that Outlaw. Doesn't spot anybody pushing up. The one-way now gone, and he'll be able to start to re-clear some space. So Talon should still make some noise on A for the time being until the barrier drops, but they'll slowly pull away and try to inch towards C site.
Ben here still not spotting out too much. He's trying to sell that fake by rotating the doors over. No footsteps whatsoever. The rest of his team slowly into the B side. That Prowler, though, does give a bit of a tell away, and Kelly S instantly calls for a bit of reaction. Crystal starting to kind of think back in towards a possible B pinch, but Ben continuing to push up, gets away with another kill.
And there's the barrier mesh as well, so no one going to be able to funnel in through, but Yudotan, I love this position. He has to get ahead of it. He has to get two, but he misses on that wide swing. Not quite expecting them to just not fight him at all. Governor with a free kill himself. There are the salvos, but they should be able to get out. Lots of damage taken, so Ban now takes it upon himself to make sure that they can secure this round.
Very likely bonus now, but Kelly S hearing the hops. I believe Ban has spotted him out as well, so at this point, just kind of jiggling along even further.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much secured the bonus round already, but if you're able to carry forward 4 rifles with the credits they already have, Talon is looking solid. And I mean, the Des talked about it, we mentioned it, but GE, this composition definitely seems like one that's gonna need some rounds on the defensive side.
Some. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, the Vicelock duo has been so dominant, right? I think it's like on a 7-win streak on Bind alone, and it's been quite dominant and impressive across other maps as well. Very popular. And one of the reasons is, especially on the defense...
Stuck and held. Stealth drone to gather more information as well, but here comes Yudotan. A second kill and a third from Crystal now. All sheriffs, but it's still able to ring out thanks to the information that they're getting. Primi, though, in with the Outlaw, knowing that they don't quite have the shields. He goes in aggressively for it. A bit of a wallbang into Yudotan, but the instant trade from Crystal rings back.
That is disastrous there. What a triple setup here from GE. So GE, if this is a call not just on the eco, but something they've picked up on from Talon, it's a great adjustment because they realize, okay, they're just constantly baiting out our delay util. They're constantly trying to make us use everything before the 40-second mark before they actually make their execute. So now we go out and fight. We go and fight. We have things like the salvo. We still have things like the gravnet. We're able to take control of at least one fight, 2 or 3 times around, depending on the cooldowns. Now they have upgraded rifles, and this is a bit of a stack here. Governor, I mean, the creds are fine. If he can make the showstopper, that'd be a win for him as well.
10 seconds
Might
left.
be for it, but Nats does have a good sight line at the very least. Oh, my Governor! He just raised into Unodon!
It's a nice forward position. Obviously, we've seen that evolve over the course of 2024. Jitboy's already through. Poppy's ready for it. That smoke. Can't just go out of it like that, but Primi instantly striking on the other side. Good adjustments on the macro rounds between the two teams. This time, Talon really brings up the speed. Oh, and Primi's just digging deep into enemy territory. This is already a save.
Had the numbers to go for it, so nonetheless, just makes it work. And with the op in hand, there's just not much else that can be done. 3-1.
That works.
Talon's gonna hold.
It's just going to be that save here from Darian. Just keeps his back covered with that trademark. And he'll just wait to see if he can get an extra kill. Now, on the side of Talon, I mean, for sure, you'd see if you can go out hunting. Well, maybe not hunting with the knife out, but man, just seeing if he can close the gap there. Now they have that information, and Cruz is the one that you want to try to get this kill. Get that Nightfall ready. Get that snowball rolling on the attacking side. But he can't leave the spike just yet. You just never know. So he's going to stick around.
For Talon, they get to kind of hold even more space as well. I mean, look at how they're able to push further in towards spawn alongside that one-way. Stealth drone does alert to Jitboys at least that there could be a push coming out. But look at how his team comes back in just to stall it with the paint shells. Armageddon sent through too.
Yeah, Jitboys doesn't really have an exit there, but Primi refills the area. The decay allows him to get a triple kill off of the Nightfall. Primi holding strong in the back of sight. GE falling into pieces as Kelly is the last one alive. He goes back out for a fight, but Prim is where is the deadlock? Where are those sonic sensors? But Jitboys hears it. It's a setup on the C side.
And that's more information being picked up by Talon. Kind of fully aware of what G's setups are right now. So being able to flood into the C side, Primi from the back lines takes a shot in towards Poppy, and that's the C side broken up.
I mean, this is just textbook. You save the paint shells for the sonic sensors, Shipboy calls it. It's thrown from long range right as it pops. You send Governor in, he's past, he displaces the crosshairs, then you're ready for the trades. I mean, Vice, Deadlock, Chamber, none of them are getting value out of their utility right now.
Yeah, despite every single roadblock being set up against them, Talon are able to bypass it. And now with the spike planted, everyone holding out from Mound, just a bit of a huge firefight. They have the ultimates to work against potential incoming retake as well, but thanks to the economy, G's gonna have to opt for a save as well, and just continuing to press onto that rotating door. Doesn't spot anything on the other side. And Kelly spots a bit of a barrel and will spray down, but Jitboys pushes back in just to find that trade. Darian receives a bit of contact in towards the A side as well, so fires off a shot, but unfortunately that Prowler forces him to rendezvous even further back again.
But it's still a wraparound. Crystal, he's ready for it. Cruz, he's not quite aware of that off angle. Crystal, can he get two? That's the spike stranded. Two members of Talon separated from each other.
Spike down.
Trying to isolate these 1v1s. Expects one more, but there's the paranoia he needs to survive the stun. Just trying to buy time, but it's too close range, and Primi will close the gap.
In with the shorty. So that's the spike retrieve now. 20 seconds left. The Barrier Mash comes up just in time. So it should be a really clear C hit. And the only one here to fend it off is Poppy.
But you have not dead yet. Primi has to be the bait. Primi has to go in, try to draw that fire. It's a high-low, and it's a drop down from Jitboys. Enough time for the spike to get planted. And what happened? What happened to the Annihilation? Tiny still gets the kill, but the spike has been planted.
Not dead yet, used. So Primi Now he's on the timer, at least just buying a bit more time off of the spike for Jit Boys to hold his position. Primi now pushes up for the move in towards Waterfall, but doesn't spot quite anything. Jit Boys has the shot to step in, you know, maybe a smoke to come up, but it's planted for stairs, so it's a little bit tricky for him to play against. Working alongside Primi Smokes now, but hearing the footsteps, it's Darian in close range with a hit hunter that shuts him down. GE manages to find one round after a long while. Like sensors.
I wonder if they just go for an all-in, flood over the wall. You do have the pain shells, you do have the annihilation as well. They're clearing close. There's the annihilation, and they actually catch the Vice. He's just gonna get drawn out. Poppy, can you break it? It's too many targets. They use that against him. Poppy outs himself from behind the pillar. Yudotan now on the site. The Sherwell comes up and lines him up for Yudo. He's good for 3, defending the site on his own. Working around the barrier mesh, finds the 4th. He's not able to land the shot, but so much time bought for Global Esports.
Spike planted.
Crystal, he wants this fight so bad, and he gets it. 2v1. Both coming from opposite angles around the site. Governor skirts around the salvo. There's only so many positions he can be, and he gets spotted. It's a clean shot with the headhunter.
Such a huge round thanks to Yudotan's efforts, but down to the end as well, just being able to come in with that pinch, and even with the salvo to flush him out of position.
To be rotate could happen, but look at G's position. They've changed things up. They're trying to group up a bit more to try to fight back. This is the new GE way, and Crystal will instantly get the reclear.
Continuing to hold down the baby door. Still though, Talon looks for an opportunity, some kind of an option into the A site, but Yudotan snipes down the first, Darian for the next. And as they continue to try to find a bit more, everything's being blocked off now. Crystal still holding the same position.
Primi trying to find these 1v1s, but they're not going to give it to him. 5 members left alive for Global Esports. Finally, some breathing room where they can just hold angles. GE waking up and remembering, hey, in 2025, didn't we tell ourselves we're just going to take the fights? We're just going to go for the reclears. Crystal, ready for it. Spots 1. He's ready for the second. Because now they recognize there's that counter aggression, and he sees it, but Darian's good with the crouch peek. Shuts him down. Once again, some breathing room gained for GE.
Finding a bit of that duel. No rendezvous available now, so he's just holding it. Maybe looking for the baby door to escape. And that just could give Talon a bit more space to creep further up. No one's holding up from stairs either.
Sonic sensor broken on C. Draws out another smoke coming out from Poppy himself. But off of that, GE, the idea has now been the same as that previous round. Just ditch one of the sites. If they're on C, if they don't go for the fast hit, let's just ditch it. Maybe reset. Darian gets another pick. This should let you know that there was still a lot of presence towards that A site. So no further movement needed. You still have a Sonic sensor to delay on B side as well.
And Crystal continuing to jiggle too. He's got all the utility and the Armageddon, so just kind of setting up for it as soon as he hears a bit of a tell, and there it is. Armageddon sent out. It's all lined up for him. Still though, Governor tries to get underneath him and will be able to strike against Crystal. Gets the second shot. No! Kellyes denies that opportunity. Primi now going on the offensive in with the shorties despite his gun being taken away. Tries to pull it up just ahead of time to hold, but 15 seconds left is all that he's got. Takes down Yudotan.
The drone as well. No tanks just yet. There's the Sonic sensor. There's the GravNet band. He wants to go in for the kill. He gets 1. He's trying to play it safe, but he knows he's surrounded. Needs to try to get 2. Oh, just barely not able to land the headshots.
Still, yeah, just a bit of damage done nonetheless. Trying to hold it. That will be the spike for GE now, trying to play out from stairs with the boombot. Governor will be able to get ahead. That's Darian down. The rest of them all playing from the back of tree. Surely with the Prowler and everything else being sent through, Talon sees that there's no one on site.
It's a good flash to try to reposition here for GE. Ooh. They're trying to hold on to tree. Poppy gets taken down, but now both of them in the smoke. They have to separate on the site. Primi goes in. Brave spearheading the site. He catches the site of the last member, and Crystal will get taken down. It's a full wraparound retake here from Talon as they pick up yet another pistol round here on Lotus.
Has the assist for the pick-me-up for the speed.
Hey, the Haunt recognizes that somebody's here. Governor takes a bit of a risky fight. I think just because of that first whiff, he got the tag onto Jaren. He wanted to stick to it, but not able to fully get it, but they are able to push him away from rubble. And so now, GE, they have to work a lot harder to regain control of that. They have to use util combos to really reclaim side of A. And so look at the rotations. Talon now sending Jit Boys all the way back over to B and C.
And Global is just tapping on those doors, trying to bring some of the attention back over onto the other sides as well. Just Cruz to hold outside of Rebel for now. Oh, great angle though. Does tag Crystal down to low HP.
Yeah, he still wants to stick around, trying to work away from that stealth drone. Peeks right after it. He gets 2 with the Ghost as well.
Huge value found.
Just insane value off of the Outlaw into the Ghost. Now Barrier Mesh trying to block off any further rotation. The spike should get planted, but Poppy, oh, we needed to stay alive for extra value. Now it's a 3v2 in favor of Talon.
Tried to catch him off in the rotations, but without the numbers, it just doesn't quite work out too well. Position not quite favoring him either, so down to it. Primi with the angle takes down Crystal. It's all up to Yudotan. Might be able to at least get one, but still into the sights. Can this Phantom really do all the work that is necessary? Continues to hold out from stairs, but now he's smoked off. If he goes back to heaven, that's a little bit too clear. So dodges the flash and tries to re-clear through the smoke, but does he know that Jitboy's is on the other side? He anticipates it, but the spike is being stuck. Ben, he gets the route on the A site. G tries to go for the quick B hit instead, but unfortunately, Talon's all prepared for it. Jitboys and Primi, they're able to hold down the exits.
Yeah, I get that this was an eco, but I imagine it's a timeout in the next round, just because now that you've heard the Odin as well, what are your answers? I think you don't have many chances. It's going to be 11-5 after this round, and you're going to have to make sure that you do not let Talon get to that match point. You have to regroup and consider, okay, what did we prep when there's an Odin coming out? What did we prep in the future when an Operator comes out? You have to think ahead many rounds in a row now.
Yeah, but when you're down against this many rounds, it's just tougher. And without the numbers now, G slowly trying to creep forward through. Darian maybe trying to sneak into the A site.
Darian draws a little bit of fire, trying to create an opening on the B side, and it's going to work for the time being. Primi showing his back, but G just not aware of that timing just yet. But with this much time pass, I think Talon starts to just hold, right? There's no reason to start to go all the way towards A. Ban finds them as well. Oh, he takes a fight, actually drops down to Darian. That is going to be what creates that opening.
Still down to the one-on-ones. Primi will be able to strike back. And there's that pickup now, tries to go a little bit more aggressive alongside Jitboys. The flash will be sent through. Primi is good for the head-to-head. And down to Jitboys, taking that duel against Poppy as well, flushed out of position thanks to the flash. Talon still being able to keep it through 11-5.
Primi and Jitboys. Double commitment, and then Poppy on the lurk, but here comes the pinch, and there's the hot. Oh, Poppy wins one. He knows he's in trouble. He needs to get multiple. There's the shear to keep him alive. Oh, that buys him so much time and space. Cruz, he gets taken down as well. And GE trying to turn things around here in round 17.
Spike planted.
Being able to shoot them down, Poppy. Sheer wall as well. Now continuing to hold the back lines, knowing that that's where they are coming from. And at the same time, you do have Darian on that tour de force marking down the baby door as well. So last one left, Ban, pretty much gonna have to save at this point.
Yeah, just going to hang back. All 5 members left alive. And now you have those ultimates online as well for Global Esports. One more chance to try to continue things. And we'll peek out. Okay, he wants to destroy the economy as much as he can. Doesn't matter if they finish off one extra ultimate. They've got the wombo combos. Nice ult. Uh-oh, Darian and Kelly's kind of stuck there. That's a good paint shells right in the corner. Darian, he needs to open things up, but they're just not giving him an opportunity. Nightfall at the ready if they hear the entry start to happen.
Yeah, Still Garden was ripped through as well. Unfortunately, it just keeps players from Talon on the A side closer to it anyway. A bit of a trip for Info. Does spot out Jitboys. So the Annihilation.
Oh, it tags him as well all the way through the Shrouded Set, but it's behind the wall, so they are able to save him. Counter Annihilation just to push them back. It's a good hit. Ban gets one kill. Darian for the trade, but it's an absolute mess as we see Crystal being drawn all the way to his death. Poppy left alone. 1v2. Can he shine? The clutch master. He hasn't had many opportunities today.
30 seconds left.
But this may be the most important one. Spike in range, but only 20 seconds. And look at Jitboys' position. Already trying to throw him off.
So much to consider, but if there's any time to make it happen, 1-on-2 is the time. 15 seconds, and he's going for the quick sprint into the C site. From the shadows from Jitboys, though, in towards Mound.
Gotta go for that safe plant. but Jitboy should give the information of exactly where this is. Cruz is ready for the spray. Poppy gets it! Jitboy's down to 36 HP. Poppy finally ahead in this clutch. 1v1. Going round and round. Jitboys tries to smoke it off. Keep him guessing. Keep him locked in around the spike. Jitboys, he makes the wrong assumption. Extra reach off of this execute. Goes for a little bit of spam. But Poppy's already got the flank under control.
Being able to watch that at the very least. Now with things being planted out closer towards main, they're able to hang back. Where Talon will be forced to make a move to break through.
Just
given the guns.
and just lining up together, waiting for the spike to go off. Ban will be trying to position himself for a bit of an exit frag, maybe a cheeky little kill. Does have that Bucky in hand. Eventually we'll have to go through that baby door to go down to the spike.
That's kind of what they have to do, so just being able to hang back for now.
Now, Darian just choosing to go down to the spike. He just wants 1 or 2 extra kills to try to get that turret to force, but
while the rest of the team tries to kind of poke and prod through to the C site.
Here comes the Prowler. Oh, it's a nice wide swing as well. Governor baits him in, knows it's going to be the re-challenge. That's a big kill. So much of the map now given over to Talon. They have so much control. You still have Jitboys holding on to Rubble. B main completely under their control until the reclear comes in from Poppy. It's all up to Poppy once again, but for now the main force looking at C site.
A little bit unfortunate, right? No rendezvous, so now backed into it through the smokes, and Premi's able to take the first shot.
Poppy's got to win this fight. He needs to open an extra option, but he can't. And look at Cruz. He knows he just doesn't have to give up that kill, but meanwhile, Crystal tries to get one, but Kelly not able to get the trade. There's a showstopper to push them away. Lands right at Crystal's feet. And Poppy, yeah, you had one clutch, but will they even give you the opportunity? 30 seconds left. He gets one. Spikes down. He has a chance. There's the not dead yet. They just want to draw time. Gotta imagine just the way that GE's been playing. There's that operator. Governor is ready for it. What a setup from Talon. And that may be the bells ringing against GE. The final draw, the op dropped, Rubble given over once again, trapped in B main. Here come the paint shells. Here comes the paranoia. The absolute chariot of Talon pushes through.
As the dust settles as well, the last 2 players, I mean, running out of options, but still trying to keep themselves in the game. Knowing that there is that potential op that's kind of rotating over across the map. A bit of that deadlock utility on the C side as well.
I mean, yeah, what do you do to break this? Yes, you have the Cosmic Divide. It looks like they might want to use that, but there's no reason for Talon to budge. There it is. Premi gets ahead of it as well. There's the refresh on the smoke. Okay, not fast enough. Kellius gets it. The flash is ready. He antis it, but he turns just too fast. Gives him the full flash.
So now maybe a bit of an opportunity to get the spike down at the very least alongside the Cosmic Divide, but Governor gets ahead of it. Pushes alongside the wall and gets the quick flick shot into Poppy. All down to Kellius. Comes in with a shorty, but Governor, point blank range, still makes it happen. Talon closes out the map.
There were a lot of questions from a lot of fans.